Again, NAFTA, globalization and NAFTA. I think it was 1994 when the Clintons passed NAFTA. You know, the Democrats promised us that NAFTA was going to be the solution where they would open up the borders and, you know, all these influx of jobs. Well, we all know what happened with NAFTA. What happened with NAFTA is that all of a sudden American corporations just fled the country, and they especially went to Mexico, to the border. And so you have all along the border, the US-Mexico border, a bunch of American corporations that are hiring non-unionized labor. They left because they say, we'll go hire young workers. They're not going to unionize. They're not going to cause any trouble. The way that the way they're set up is that each corporation is gated. They're protected with guards, with M16s. The workers get bussed in, 14, 16-hour work days, and then for pennies, for cents on what compared to what is paid here. So you have the phenomenon of NAFTA and how it's totally devastating Mexico, Central America. And at the same time, you have an international crisis of femicide. And I'm not sure if any of you have heard of what's happening in Juarez, Mexico. But Juarez, which is the border town of El Paso, in the last 12 years, over 450 young, disappeared, dead, mutilated young women who work in these maquiladoras, in these sweatshops, and another 300 missing. So it hasn't, to date, it hasn't been solved. Amnesty International, it's one of the cases that they're handling. But just that how young women of color become expendable when it's about big business. You know, and this is also happening in Guatemala now. But just I really want to encourage people to learn about the women of Juarez, because it's now, the people who brought this fight to light were the mothers who finally said, this is it, we need answers to what our daughters are suffering. And I really wanted to make a poster that was combining globalization, women, and how the mothers were organizing. This piece in the United States, the green industry, the multi-million-dollar flowering green industry, is also the most racially segregated. And that means that most of the beneficiaries at the end of the day are white, and mostly white males. So this poster was around saying, who fills the most toxic jobs in the United States? It's actually immigrants. Immigrants are working in the most toxic workplaces, including meatpacking, which is the most dangerous job in America today, is meatpacking. And so when we talk about green jobs, we need green for everyone. That's why now there's a green for all movement, because we're saying we need green in our schools. People of color suffer the highest asthma rates. Incinerators, refineries are always put in our communities. We have very limited access to healthy food, and so green has to translate into real power for us. And so that's what this poster is about, is that we also have a right to clean air, healthy food, clean water, and non-toxic jobs. Slogan says green is not